Hi everyone. Today I'm going to tell you a few lines from Mahabharata. And yes, these are very touching and very emotional words. So, what are these that I'm going to tell you? Well, Lord Krishna said, Ki O Ashwatthama, you will wander all over the world for 3000 years without any friend or without any love and affection from others, and that too, pus and wound on your body. But why did he say like this? You know, Guru Dronacharya worshipped Lord Shiva to get a son, and ultimately he was blessed with a son that was Ashwatthama. So Ashwatthama was son of Guru Dronacharya and Kripi, the sister of Kripacharya. So before the birth of Ashwatthama, Dronacharya was simply a very poor Brahmin. So that is why even he couldn't afford to uh, mean to provide the minimum requirements to his family members. And that is why once Ashwatthama, while he was playing with his friends, he was mocked by them whether he has ever tasted the cow milk. That killed Dronacharya's mind, means hurt Dronacharya's mind very much. So after that, he just wished to get some wealth. Somehow, you know, for that reason he went to King Drupada and he was humiliated by him. And then he came back, and by his good fortune, he was appointed as the royal preceptor of the Kuru race by Pitamaha Bhishma. This was in short about Guru Dronacharya, how he became the preceptor of Guru dynasty. Now, Dronacharya taught everything to all the Kuru princes, and at the same time he taught his son Ashwatthama also. So Ashwatthama was expert in all the Shastras, Vedas, Vedangas, and also the science of war. He knew everything, and he was a great warrior. But one thing, he was very short-tempered, and he didn't have that much of intelligence. But he was very loyal to King Duryodhana. Why he inclined towards Duryodhana? The reason is that Dronacharya, when he taught all his disciples, Arjun surpassed everyone. Even Ashwatthama was no less than Arjun, but only one thing, not less, but he was not equal to Arjun. Arjun surpassed everyone. And that is the reason why Ashwatthama he was jealous of Arjun. And gradually, as they were the royal preceptor, he supported Duryodhana more than Pandavas, because it is natural that he didn't like. He admired the prowess of Arjun, but he supported Duryodhana more than anyone else. So Ashwatthama, he learnt everything. Now when Guru Dronacharya saw that Arjun was, he was deserving to get the all the divine weapons, that time he taught him how to hurl and how to withdraw the lethal weapon that was Brahmasira, means Brahmastra. And after a few minutes, he called his son, and out of affection, out of love, he taught this about this Shastra to Ashwatthama also. But one thing, Ashwatthama learned how to hurl it, but he didn't learn how to withdraw that. Somehow, Ashwatthama, as I told you, he was not that intelligent, though he was very powerful and was a great warrior. You know, when the war was over, means Duryodhana was badly injured and hurt by Bhimsen, that time, Ashwatthama couldn't tolerate because he was already uh, promised, he had promised to take revenge upon Dhrishtadyumna who killed his father brutally on the battlefield. You know when, that too you know how Drona was killed by Dhrishtadyumna. So that he couldn't tolerate, and he had taken a vow to take the revenge. So when Kripacharya, Kritavarma and Ashwatthama, all these three, they were the only survivors of this Kurukshetra war. When they, from Kaurava side, when they came to Duryodhan, that time he requested Duryodhan to make him the commander-in-chief, which Duryodhan never did before. However, Duryodhan agreed, and Ashwatthama was ready to take the vengeance. So he promised before him that he will kill all the Pandavas. Thus he came, and while they came, means at nightfall only they came to the Pandavas' camp. Because daytime they can't come. If they would come at that time, then they would be attacked, they would be killed by Pandavas. That is why. So when these three came at nightfall, on the way they took a rest. It was night, and all these three, they sat under a banyan tree. That banyan tree, since Kritavarma and Kripacharya were tired, they slept, and Ashwatthama was awake. That time, suddenly he looked at his heart was burning with anger, with taking revenge upon the Pandavas. He couldn't sleep. That time he looked at the branch of the tree. There he saw that all the crows, they were sleeping peacefully in their nest. And suddenly an owl came to their nest and killed the crow children, babies. Looking at that, a brilliant idea came to Ashwatthama's mind. He thought that, well, this is the best idea. I got an idea from this owl. So why not I will attack all the Pandavas at night, because daytime I know that I cannot win over them. So at night I will come and kill them. Thus he came at night time and attacked the Pandava camp. And as you know, Lord Krishna was the incarnation of Lord Vishnu only. So he knew what was going to happen. He took all the Pandavas. Pandavas didn't know. They all went outside of the camp to enjoy their victory. So at that time, these three came, and when Kritavarma and Kripacharya woke up, Ashwatthama told that he was going to attack all the Pandavas, kill all the Pandavas when they are sleeping. But Kritavarma opposed him, and even Kripacharya told him not to do this heinous work. When somebody is scared, or somebody is running out of the field, when somebody is sleeping, when somebody is asking your shelter, your ashraya, at that time you are not supposed to fight. So they said that this is against the war rule, so don't attack them when they are sleeping. But Ashwatthama's heart was burning, and he just wanted to take revenge, and he requested them to help him, to lend their helping hand. Ultimately, as that time Ashwatthama was a commander-in-chief, they agreed and they came. Kritavarma and Kripacharya, they stood near the gate so that anybody who would be saved from the attack of Ashwatthama, they would be killed by these two. That is why they stood on the gate and Ashwatthama entered. After entering the camp. First he tried to enter, but he couldn't, because you know why? It was protected by a huge person, and he was no other than the Rudra himself. So Ashwatthama saw that because of him he can't do anything. So he sat upon the fire and worshipped Lord Shiva. Ultimately, Lord Shiva blessed him and he gave him a sword so that Ashwatthama would get his victory. Thus Ashwatthama entered into the camp, and without knowing who were sleeping, he just cut off their heads, and they were no other than the 5 sons of Pandavas, the children, innocent, small, they were the sons of all the 5 Pandavas. And he also brutally murdered Dhrushtadimna, who killed his father. Dhrushtadimna requested him to give him a Kshatriya death, but Ashwatthama that time lost his sense, and he was only and completely filled with anger. He just pressed his neck, means he strangled him, killed him. And then he killed Uttamaja and Yudhamanyu, everyone who was there. Those who were saved from him were killed by Kritavarma and Kripacharya. This was a brutal murder of Ashwatthama. However, he did it. Then after killing all of them inside the camp, they came back. They ran to save their life. While they were coming, after that, the 5 Pandavas with Lord Krishna came back to their camp and came to know about the murder of their sons, and Uttamaja, Dhrushtadimna, and Yudhamanyu, and others also. They felt extremely angry, and even Draupadi lost her sense, and at last she requested to kill Ashwatthama. So Lord Krishna and Arjuna and also Bhim, they all ran after Ashwatthama to kill him. They saw that Ashwatthama had taken shelter under Vyasadeva's ashramas. So there when they reached, the Ashwatthama was so scared. He was scared looking at the face of Arjuna and Bhimsen. So he took one grass, a single grass blade, and chanted the mantras, converted it into Brahmastra and hurled it. But that Brahmastra, looking at that, Lord Krishna asked Arjuna, "Oh Arjuna, nobody can save any one of us. Just release your Brahmastra to counteract." Then Arjuna hurled his Brahmastra. By these 2 Brahmastras, just for the counteract, Vyasadeva and Narada, they both stood between this Brahmastra, and Vyasadeva commanded Ashwatthama to withdraw his weapon. But unfortunately, Ashwatthama didn't know how to withdraw it. He knew how to hurl it. He didn't learn how to withdraw it. By the command of Vyasadeva, Arjuna withdrew his Brahmastra. Now that Brahmastra has to go, but where it will go? So Ashwatthama directed it to, because he had promised to do it, Nippan, to kill all the Pandavas. He directed that weapon to go to Uttara's home to kill the unborn baby. The astra went, but Lord Krishna sent his Sudarshana Chakra, and that saved the child. Actually, the child was born dead, but Lord Krishna once again gave his life back. However, this was the most painful, the unwanted, means the most heinous act Ashwatthama did in his life. That is why the jewel, the money was in his forehead was taken by Vincent forcibly. And as he lost that money, because of that only he never felt hungry, thirsty, or fatigue. But as his money was taken away, he became a normal person. And not only that, through after that, even it is said that every day he was in Asigar, every day Ashwatthama is coming to pay his prayer, means his worship to Lord Shiva. And yes, you know, Ashwatthama is a Chiranjeevi, he will never die. That is what Lord Krishna said, ki, oh Ashwatthama, you will cry for death, but you will never meet it, because you are a Chiranjeevi. So you know what? Before this year, on the battlefield also Ashwatthama once had released Narayanastra. But as Lord Krishna was the owner, is the lord of that Narayanastra, he asked everybody to lay down their weapons. Thus Narayanastra became nullified, went away without doing any harm. This much is about Ashwatthama. Once again I will meet you, and this is the short one. Nothing I have told you in detail. Once again I will meet you with another story. Thank you so much.